Everyone, and welcome to the Week 15 review, last week of the regular season, Round 1 preview. I'm joined today by two special guests. We have, as always, Joel Gibson down there on the end. Hi, Joel. How's it going?
Doing all right.
Excellent. And we're joined by a special guest today, Cody and his trophy. It's not...
Yeah.
We do not recognize other trophies in this league, but it does look very nice.
What can I say? I just wanted Joel to know he's in the presence of two champions.
Two champions, Cody. That's interesting you say that because I have my trophy right here, a.k.a. Buzzsaw, the champ. Wow, and we didn't plan that. That worked out really well. With that being said, I will get right into this week's matchups. We'll start out with the first one. We have me beating Steven. I finished with 13 wins this year. Pretty good. Steven finishes 7-8, and we'll get to it when we get to the playoffs. I'm not going to tell anybody where the seeds are. We're just going to discuss it when we get there, but we're just going to run through these matchups. Next one I want to do is Neiman at Phil. This one literally wrapped up in the last minute of the game. By one turnover, Phil beats Neiman. And devastating news for Neiman today with Embiid being out. It is going south for him.
That is very tough. Embiid had been absolutely dominant this season. Neiman's team is built around him, and it's going to be tough sledding without him.
And as somebody who overcame an Embiid 50-pointer, I'm very happy to see that.
I think we're all happy to see that. Next one is our favorite matchup this week, Joel at Cody. Joel, how did this matchup go for you?
Oh, we were neck and neck the whole way. I almost had him. I had him on the ropes today, but all things considered, Cody squeaked it out. It was a tough win, or a tough loss, though.
Oh, and
Boys, sorry.
No. I was just gonna say, and Cody, how do you view this matchup as going for you?
Boy, that is one way to look at it, Joel. I one thing I've always admired about you is you always keep the glass half full, and boy, is it full.
Dude, I dominate turnovers this week.
Listen, you know what? If that's one of the 2.5 categories I gave to you, I am okay with that. I want to make sure that you're well aware that I swept you this year, so pretty satisfied with that as well.
Well, Cody, it didn't take a lot to sweep Joel this year, apparently. So,
well, it's also, I swept him off his feet at Foot Locker. I sweep him in fantasy this year. The brooms are out anytime Joel's around.
Well, I appreciate that, I
think. All right. The next matchup is CJ beating Kyle. Okay. The next matchup is Adam beating Jake. That's interesting. Adam, beating Jake here at the end. Adam will make the playoffs. Where he falls, we don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Shout out to Jake for, his first season. That's a rough one. Only 3 wins, but, better luck next year. And we still have the battle for first place to talk about as well. Last matchup is Doug squeaking out the win against Matt. I think, Friday they were tied, and Doug was really worried about, actually losing to Matt. But he didn't. So, Matt, last place this year. Congratulations. I don't know what to say because Matt and I were having a conversation the other day. It was a text message conversation. And I went through 4 matchups where he literally lost by 1 category, and it was less than 2 in that category, that had he cycled or even remotely paid attention, he's a playoff team right now, even without Ja. So the fact that he got last place, it is solely on his stupidity. And I think we can all appreciate that and enjoy that.
On brand.
Very on brand. With that,
enjoy that.
With that being said, we'll get right into the battle for first place. the consolation bracket that really no one cares about. Now, these four teams, they'll be battling for first place or for first pick. Sorry, not first place. That's mine. That's my trophy. Sorry.
I was wondering if you were giving that away or not.
No, I'm actually trying not to give it away. So we're going to do first pick for next year. Now, keep in mind that these teams are going for their first pick. So if they don't own their first pick, technically they're battling for some other team that owns their first pick. Number 12, as we alluded to, Matt is last. He will be taking on the number 9 team, and that is sadly CJ. CJ would have made it into the playoffs had Adam lost or had Steven lost one more conference game this year. So unfortunately, CJ doesn't get in. Had they tied conference, CJ had more points. He had everything going for him. On paper, great team. Turns out he's number 9. Turns out he's going for the first round pick.
Does he have his pick?
So I'd like to touch on that question, Joel. This is really a battle of Jake, who has 3 of the 4 contending teams.
Yep.
Against Neiman, who has Matt.
I love that Cody looked it up. I looked it up too. Jake has 3 of these teams' picks. And Neiman has the other one. So literally, these games could mean less than nothing this year unless somehow Neiman's pick actually pulls it out. And I believe Neiman's pick belongs to Matthew, correct? Yes.
Yeah, so he would have 11 or I guess 1 or 2, just depending if he wins the tournament.
Correct, yep. So Neiman's either going to get 1 or 2, and it just depends on what Matt does. So the moment that Matt loses, this becomes totally irrelevant. Totally irrelevant. So, go teams go. I'm going to pick... I'm going to pick... I'm going to pick Matt to win this one only because, why not? He might want to try to do Neiman a solid, and CJ is, out there dead. He can't add. He can't do anything. So, I'm going to pick the 12/9 upset.
I guess I'll follow suit with you.
I'm taking the odds. I'm Team Jake.
Yeah, let's just get all 4 of the teams out of the way real quick, just right away. Now, the number 11 at 10 is Jake and Kyle, but again, only Jake can benefit from this matchup. So I'm going to take Jake in this matchup.
So he's in the championship. This is great.
Yeah, very great strategy from Jake to acquire Kyle's and CJ's pick. And his own. He does still have his own. So way to really pick him out there. Wow. Yeah, that made me laugh when I looked that up. I thought it was hysterical. Yeah, go Jake. All right. That being said, we'll get into the real serious business. The 8 versus 1 is to Steven's biggest nightmare that he can think of. He had to play me last week. He's going to play me for another 20 days. Here comes Mr. Modest, 8 versus 1. I'm sorry, Steven. I'm picking myself. I will defend at least the first round. Looking forward to Cody in the next round, as I anticipate will happen.
I want to pick Steven so bad, but unfortunately, I am going to pick the 1 seed here. I think you're going to need someone of a little bit higher caliber to bring you down this year.
Cody?
You know what? I really love a good upset underdog story, but boy, is that not happening this week.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. No drama yet. No drama yet. But I'll tell you where we might see some drama in the 7 versus 2 matchup. Cody, we got what we wanted. Joel fell the whole way to the 7, and guess who the 2 seed is? It's Doug. The Joel Kryptonite. I can't believe we're going to get this in the playoffs. I absolutely love it for a first round matchup. And I am worried about Joel's team. I am taking Doug here. I want to see if Joel can pull it out. I can't wait to see The Wire over the next 20 days. It is going to be incredible.
Cody, go ahead.
All right. Judging by the shellacking you took this week, Doug is one of the teams that really scares me. I did have a nice win early in the season, but as we all know, our teams are not the same as they once were. And I ultimately lost to Doug, a couple weeks ago. And there was, I was looking at a lot of the numbers this week, and, I have a lot of second place numbers throughout the categories this week. And in those second places, number 1 is typically Doug. And it kind of makes me feel icky inside.
Yeah.
And with that being said, unfortunately, with all the red flags that Joel has, something I've learned in relationships is if there's a red flag, you go away from it. So I'm going to go and pick Doug to win this matchup. Unfortunately, due to he's strong, and right now, unfortunately, I'm kicking you when you're down.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay. So I hear you guys, but fuck all y'all. I'm gonna fuck win this. I'm a dragon slayer. I wanted this. I've been saying the whole time that whoever has to see me in the first round is in a lot of trouble. In the last 4 weeks, my team has just been getting themselves ready, getting themselves healthy. Kyrie is coming back next week. Jalen Williams is coming back on Tuesday. That is the plan. You heard it here first. And we're fuck shit up. You guys were all in trouble. I didn't care what seed I got. I just needed to get into the playoffs. Y'all forgot. I'm a fucking champ. I'm picking me.
Excellent. I just want to note for the record, did you just call yourself a Dragon Slayer? When that was my whole fucking mantra this season, I took the championship away from you? Did you just use my name?
I did.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, respect. I can't trademark any of these names, I suppose, but if anybody starts going by Buzzsaw, we're going to have a problem. All right, next matchup is Adam at Phil. This is the 6 versus 3 matchup. Phil just squeaks in there as the 3 seed. He did not set his lineups every day this week, which makes me very nervous. Adam has lost Levine for the rest of the season, so there's that. A lot of different things could go wrong, but if Phil doesn't set his lineups, there's no real argument to be had here. Greek's going to run all over him. I think Greek versus Luke is very enticing. I think Phil could win this matchup. He's also the home team as well. I think you're going to have to see 1, maybe even 2 triple doubles from like a Greek or something like that. I'm going to take Phil, though.
Adam's also down Julius Randle, who's been pretty...
Oh, yeah, his shoulder, right.
Mm-hmm. Man. Just want to Phil real quick. Oh, man, there's a lot of Phil's seeing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he has... It's not an easy pick. It's just like... It's hard to judge off of Phil's team when he didn't set his lineups. Like, I still really can't get a good gauge on Phil. I feel like that's been the story with him all season. You feel like he's a top team, and then he doesn't set his lineups or something like that. But
well, he's got 8 guys with red flags.
Yeah, that's scary.
That's pretty scary. I'm going to pick Adam in an upset, and more because I want to see Adam over Phil in the playoffs.
Hey, that's a good reason to pick.
Yeah. See, I thought before. I mean, I didn't take a look, obviously, before the video, but as you guys were talking, I'm like, I was looking at Adam's team, and I'm just like, wow, like there's no chance Phil loses this. But the more that we talk about it, the more that we see the red flags on Phil's team. I mean, he's hoarding Patrick Williams, who has something with his foot, and I don't even think he's worth having. AD's got question marks. Luka's got a flag next to him. Jaren Jackson missed some games this week. And the inevitable question of, is Phil going to set his lineup? I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. He beat Neiman this week, and Neiman had I don't know what the player advantage was, but Phil, I think, was in the 30s for players that played.
Yeah.
And Neiman was at like 59, and he still beat Neiman.
Yeah. Neiman did it without Neiman didn't have Embiid, but at the end of the day, the amount of players that Phil sat, there's no excuse.
Yeah, I mean, when you have something like that, and obviously somebody who's playing Neiman next week, I would assume based on the names that are left, I still want to pick Phil. I mean, when you can do something like, I know that Greek's on the other side, but I'm gonna ride with Phil this week. Even I'm just talking myself through it, and I'm picking Phil this week.
It's playoffs. I believe Phil's going to pay attention. I want to believe it. He told me he would, so I'm going to hold him to it. I believe he's going to figure something out, so that's why I picked him.
And that's the variable, is we're betting on that, and that's what I'm betting on.
Yep. As you said, Cody, last matchup's pretty clear cut here. We have Neiman at number 5 at Cody. I think Neiman's a dead duck. I don't think that without Embiid and Cody's team getting healthy and looking good and looking worrisome, I am going to pick Cody. And like I said, I look forward to our second round matchup.
Man, yeah. I wish Embiid were in this. But I don't think that Terry Rozier is going to save Neiman this week. I also don't think he's going to save the Heat. But, yeah, so I'm going to pick Cody.
There was no reason for that. There was no reason for that. That's the only way you can hurt me, is just going after the Heat. That's fucking ridiculous.
So, as somebody who's in this matchup, obviously I'm going to pick myself. I just defeated Neiman with Joel Embiid, is the argument that I made for Phil beating Neiman and the player advantage. But also, something I have to concede really is the triple double, because Sabonis is just a walking triple double at this point. I believe he had 3 this week, if I'm not mistaken.
A lot, yeah.
Which I have guys that flirt with it. I mean, Tatum was out at the end of the third, and he probably would have gotten it if he played in the fourth, but it was a blowout. Draymond flirts with it a little bit because, obviously he doesn't score. Sengun's really starting to come on in terms of triple-double threat, but I still think he's a year away from that. But other than that, looking at his team, I don't think that it's going to be that close. It's not going to be as close as it was with Embiid there. And it certainly won't be down to 1 turnover as Phil let it go down to. So, yes, I am certainly going to pick me to see our defending champion in the second round.
And that'll be a good time, and we'll all love it because I'm healthy.
Boy, I can't wait.
It's going to be a good time, I'm telling you. The best part about my win against Steven this week is I had Joker on my IR for 2 of the games, and he had like 20 rebound triple doubles for both of those games. And I still won. It was no big deal or anything. So just keep that in mind as we look at those scores, everyone. Mr. Modest didn't have full power at that point, okay?
And you still have 2 healthy guys on your IR.
Correct, yeah. We're just waiting. I have perfectly put my team in a position where I can pivot no matter which way I want to go. I did that all week. I told you guys I was going to do that last video. So I'm really excited. And poor Steven, just bad luck. Bad luck this year. Oh, poor fella. But good luck to everyone else. Anything else from you, Joel Gibson?
No, that's it for me, guys.
Cody?
It has been quite the roller coaster of a year for me this year. I just want to say, God help me.
Yeah, I've been waiting for the team name change because clearly you're a top 4 seed. You're a top third of the league. You can't. I don't know what I'm doing. That's bullshit.
Well, it turned out that once I declared I didn't know what I was doing, I seemed to have figured it out. So I feel like at this point, if I change the name, I could get some bad juju.
Okay.
I've gotten healthy, which was a huge part of my roller coaster. Evan Mobley's starting to come on, even on restricted minutes, which I'm super excited about. Draymond's filling up some stats, even though he's Draymond. And we talked about Julius Randle missing some time. Shout out to Precious Achua, whatever you want to call it. He's had a couple decent games.
Yeah. Like a sneeze.
Happy.
Like a sneeze.
Was it?
It's like a sneeze. Achua.
Maybe I'll change my name to Gesundheit.
Exactly. You can do that for sure. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, that's it. Good luck to everybody. I imagine we'll do something over the All-Star weekend, just as a mid-matchup review. Man, the matchup I'm most looking forward to has to be Joel at Doug, though. I just can't believe we got it. I think it is sensational. Joel has the opportunity to beat Joel, to literally, just totally all the demons of this season. Joel has the chance to just get rid of them, or Doug could just bury him. I have no idea what's going to happen. I can't wait to see this matchup, though.
I will say if that upset does happen, I pick Joel to make it to the championship.
Oh wow! Okay, all right. So
if his team comes together, seeing who the other matchup is for the 3-6.
Yeah,
I'm picking him to make it to the championship. I didn't say win the championship. You watch yourself.
All right.
It's going to be winning the championship will be between me and Brandon.
Oh, okay. So all right. I like that. I like that a lot. Excellent. Well, thank you for coming, Cody. We hope to have you more, especially during the playoffs. Joel, as always, thank you, and good luck to everybody. And good season for everyone. Playoff time. We're talking playoffs. See you guys.
Playoffs.